Bangkok, 1967. The air thick with humidity and incense smoke. Behind the locked doors of a private training hall in the Phra Nakhon district, two warriors stand across from each other on worn wooden floors. One is a compact Chinese American with movements that seem to defy physics. The other, a seasoned Thai fighter whose shins have shattered countless ribs. What happens next would become one of martial arts' most whispered secrets. The fluorescent lights flicker overhead. Outside, Bangkok's traffic roars, but inside this room, there's only breathing. Heavy, controlled breathing. Bruce Lee, 26 years old, bounces lightly on his feet. Across from him stands Somrak Khamsing, a Muay Thai champion whose record speaks in broken bones and knockouts. Nobody was supposed to know about this meeting. Nobody was supposed to talk. But secrets have a way of surfacing. Before we dive deeper into this legendary encounter, drop a comment below with your favorite Bruce Lee moment. And if you're hungry for untold martial arts stories that the history books buried, hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Bruce Lee, born November 27, 1940, in San Francisco's Chinatown during the Year of the Dragon. His parents, Chinese opera performers, named him Li Junfan, which means return again. His childhood in Hong Kong was turbulent. Street fights. Gang tensions. A restless energy that needed direction. At 13, his father enrolled him in Wing Chun classes under the legendary IP man. Bruce absorbed it like a sponge absorbs water. But even then, he questioned. He tested. He pushed against the boundaries of tradition. By 18, he'd won the Hong Kong Cha-Cha Championship. Dancing taught him footwork, rhythm, the poetry of movement. In 1959, his parents sent him back to America. Too many street fights. Seattle became his new home. He washed dishes. He taught dance. He enrolled at the University of Washington, studying philosophy. But his real education happened in parking lots and community centers where he began teaching martial arts. This was radical. Chinese martial arts weren't supposed to be taught to non-Chinese students. Bruce didn't care about supposed to. He cared about truth. By 1964, he'd opened his first school in Oakland. That same year, at Ed Parker's Long Beach International Karate Championship, he demonstrated his 1-inch punch. The crowd watched in stunned silence as he sent a man flying backward from just 1 inch. No wind-up. Pure explosive power. Hollywood came calling. The Green Hornet series, where he played Kato. But America wasn't ready to see an Asian man as the hero. He was the sidekick. The exotic martial artist. The frustration burned. In 1967, Bruce was teaching privately in Los Angeles. His reputation had spread beyond California. Stories traveled along the martial arts underground network. Bruce Lee, the guy who challenged a kung fu master and beat him in 3 minutes. These stories traveled across the Pacific. To Thailand. Thailand, 1967. The home of Muay Thai, the art of 8 limbs. While other fighting systems used fists and feet, Muay Thai weaponized 8 fists, elbows, knees, shins. It was brutal. It was ancient. It was proven through centuries of warfare. Thai fighters trained from childhood. Their shins became calcified weapons through repeated trauma, striking banana trees and heavy bags until the nerves died and bone density increased to inhuman levels. Somrak Khamsing was elite even among these warriors. Born in a village outside Bangkok, he'd fought his first match at age 8. By 25, he'd accumulated over 200 fights. They called him Dok Mai Sawan, the heavenly flower, because his strikes bloomed into swelling and bruising on opponents' bodies. He trained at Sorthanical Gym in Bangkok. 6 hours daily. Road work at dawn. Pad work that sounded like gunshots. Clinch training where bodies pressed together, throwing knees until exhaustion demanded mercy. Somrak had heard the Bruce Lee stories with skepticism. The Chinese martial arts were performance art, he thought. Beautiful, sure. But fighting? Real fighting? Thai boxers regularly fought full contact. They understood the reality of a trained shin connecting with flesh. The challenge came through intermediaries. Bruce received word through a martial arts instructor who had connections in Thailand. The message was simple: come to Bangkok. Somrak Khamsing wants to see if the Chinese styles have application against Muay Thai. Exchange techniques. The polite phrase. Everyone knew what it meant. Bruce's students tried to dissuade him. fighting one of their champions in their homeland? The risk was reputation. If he lost, the legend would crumble. But Bruce saw opportunity. Testing. His philosophy was crystallizing into what would become Jeet Kune Do. A martial art built not on tradition but on truth. How could you know what was useful without testing it? In June 1967, Bruce Lee boarded a flight to Bangkok. He told almost no one. His wife Linda knew. A few close students. But this wasn't publicity. This was research. Bangkok hit like a physical force. The heat. The humidity. Bruce checked into a modest hotel near the Chao Phraya River. Through his contact, arrangements were made. Private. Respectful. Behind closed doors. The location, a private training hall in Phra Nakhon. The date was set for 3 days after his arrival. Bruce spent those days observing Thai boxers training in open-air gyms. The sound of shins hitting pads. The Y crew, the ritual dance before fights. He watched how they moved. How they checked kicks with their shins, that bone-on-bone collision. And he adapted. This was Bruce's genius. He absorbed it. June 18, 1967. Late afternoon. The training hall is cleared. Present are only the gym owner, 2 Muay Thai trainers, Bruce's contact, and a translator. Bruce arrives in simple black cotton pants and a fitted shirt. He bows respectfully to the gym's shrine. Somrak is already there, wearing traditional Muay Thai shorts, his hands wrapped but unloved. They meet in the center. The translator facilitates. Somrak speaks in Thai, respectful but confident. I've heard many stories about you. I wanted to see for myself what Chinese martial arts can do. Bruce responds. I'm honored to exchange knowledge with a fighter of your caliber. I'm here to learn as much as to show. They agree to rules. Light contact to begin. No strikes to the groin or throat. They'll escalate gradually. But both men know how adrenaline can transform intention. Bruce begins his warm-up. Bouncing. That distinctive rhythm. Light, springy, never planted. Somrak moves through traditional Muay Thai warm-ups. The Y crew, performed even here, because tradition is in the blood. The gym owner signals. Begin. They circle. The first exchange is cautious. Bruce feints with his lead hand. Somrak throws a slow teep, testing distance. Bruce slips it, circling out. Every witness knows they're watching something rare. A true meeting between masters of different systems. Bruce advances with a combination. Straight lead, cross, low hook. Fast. Somrak's guard rises, blocks, and he counters with a teep that pushes Bruce back. A statement. They reset. Both men's eyes sharpen. Somrak throws his first real round kick aimed at Bruce's lead thigh. The sound when Bruce checks it is startling. Bone on bone. Bruce's face shows nothing, but there's pain. His shins aren't conditioned like a Thai boxer's. He doesn't show it. Instead, he shifts strategy. Close the distance. Take away the kicking range. Bruce enters with rapid-fire hand techniques. Chain punches. Wing Chun specialty. The volume is overwhelming. 5 strikes in the time it takes to blink. Somrak's guard is tight, but the pressure is intense. He clinches, grabbing Bruce's neck, pulling him into Muay Thai's preferred range. Wait. Because what happens next is absolutely crucial. If you're learning anything from this story, drop a comment telling me what martial art you've trained in. And subscribe because we're about to break down the exact techniques that decided this fight. The clinch. Muay Thai territory. Somrak's hands lock behind Bruce's head, controlling posture. In Muay Thai, the clinch is where fights are won. Somrak pulls Bruce's head down, simultaneously lifting his knee toward Bruce's midsection. But Bruce's hands are already working. He doesn't fight with strength. He redirects. His hand comes inside, breaks the grip, and he pivots out. The witnesses lean forward. This isn't typical. Most try to power out. Bruce flows out. Water, again. He resets at kicking range. Somrak respects the adjustment. Nods almost imperceptibly. They engage again. Somrak throws a combination. Jab, cross, low kick. The kick connects with Bruce's lead leg again. There's going to be a bruise. But Bruce absorbs it, shifts his weight, and explodes forward with a side kick to Somrak's midsection. Somrak takes it, backs up, and grins. Respect between warriors. The intensity escalates. This is no longer light sparring. This is testing. Both men are breathing harder. Sweat gleams under the fluorescent lights. Bruce changes levels, shoots in low to disrupt rhythm. He's mixing ranges now. Never staying in one place long enough for Somrak to set up his power techniques. Somrak adjusts. He begins timing Bruce's entries. When Bruce comes forward, Somrak pivots and throws elbows. Not full power, but the technique is there. Bruce slips one. The elbow passes millimeters from his face. He counters immediately with that 1-inch punch concept. He's close, too close for a full punch, so he generates power from core rotation. The strike snaps Somrak's head back. Time freezes. Both men pause. That was close to full power. Somrak's eyes show surprise. The power came from nowhere. Somrak responds. He comes forward with intent. Low kick, teep, elbow. The second low kick connects solidly. Bruce's leg buckles slightly. The accumulated damage is mounting. Bruce knows he can't continue trading in kicking range. The shin conditioning disparity is real. He changes the game entirely. Bruce starts moving differently. Bouncing, in and out of range, making Somrak track him. Footwork that doesn't exist in 1967 martial arts yet. Lateral movement. Angle changes. Rhythm breaking. Somrak, for the first time, looks slightly frustrated. He's used to opponents who stand and trade. This is something else. Bruce sees the opening. As Somrak commits to another low kick, Bruce times it perfectly. He lifts his leg to avoid, and as Somrak's kicking leg returns, Bruce is already entering. He traps Somrak's lead hand, redirects it, and throws a straight punch that stops 1 inch from Somrak's face. The entire sequence takes maybe 2 seconds. The gym falls silent. Bruce could have hit him. They both know it. The opening was there. But Bruce pulled it. Controlled it. Somrak steps back. He bows slightly. Then he grins wide and says something in Thai. The translator provides, "Your hands are faster than anything I've seen. But my shins are harder than any fist." Bruce laughs. Genuine. Relieved. The tension breaks. They spend the next 30 minutes exchanging techniques. Bruce shows Somrak Wing Chun trapping. Centerline theory. Somrak demonstrates the Thai round kick mechanics. Hip rotation. Conditioning methods. It becomes educational. Both men are students again. When the session ends, both are exhausted but energized. They exchange contact information. Somrak invites Bruce to attend a Muay Thai match at Rajadamnern Stadium. Bruce accepts. As Bruce prepares to leave, the gym owner approaches. "What we saw today, we don't speak about. You understand? This is for you too. Private learning." Bruce nods. "I understand. Thank you." That evening, Bruce sits in his hotel room, his left thigh swollen and bruised. 3 distinct impacts are visible. Purple and angry. He applies ice and writes in his training journal. The entry reads, "Fought Somrak Khamsing today. Muay Thai champion. Learned more in 1 hour than in 6 months of theoretical study. His shin conditioning is remarkable. The accumulated damage from leg kicks would be problem in extended fight. Must research leg conditioning. Also, clinch work is more sophisticated than anticipated." He continues, confirmed several principles. Speed overcomes power when combined with timing. Angle and distance management can neutralize single technique mastery. No style is complete. The key is adaptability. Being formless. Like water. That last phrase would become his most famous metaphor. This philosophy was being forged in rooms like that Bangkok training hall. Bruce attends the Muay Thai match 2 nights later. Somrak is fighting, defending his title. The atmosphere is electric. Gambling, music, ceremony. When the fight begins, Bruce watches with new understanding. He sees what he couldn't see before. The setups. The subtle weight shifts. The way Thai boxers use the teep to control distance. Somrak wins by knockout in the 3rd round. A left hook to the body, followed by a right elbow. Clinical. Brutal. After the match, Bruce goes backstage. Somrak's face is unmarked. "You see now?" Somrak says through the translator. "This is Muay Thai. Not training. Real." Bruce nods. "I saw. You're an artist. Different canvas than mine, but an artist." Somrak responds, "You fight like you made your own way. That is dangerous. That is interesting. If we fight 10 times, maybe you win 5, I win 5. Depends on everything. It's the highest compliment. Acknowledgement of equality. They take a photograph together. Grainy, black and white. Bruce and Somrak, arms around each other's shoulders, both smiling. That photograph would surface decades later. Bruce returns to Los Angeles in late June 1967. He tells his students he sparred with a Muay Thai champion. Shares what he learned. Begins incorporating concepts. More leg conditioning. Clinch fighting studies. But he doesn't publicize the fight. This was private research. Somrak continues his career. He retires in 1971 with over 250 fights. Opens his own gym. When students ask about the greatest fighters he faced, he sometimes mentions a Chinese-American fighter who moved like water. But doesn't elaborate. Bruce Lee's career explodes. In 1971, he returns to Hong Kong and makes The Big Boss. Then, Fist of Fury. Then, Way of the Dragon. Finally, Enter the Dragon. But tragedy strikes on July 20, 1973. An allergic reaction to a painkiller causes cerebral edema. Bruce Lee dies at age 32. The world mourns. News reaches Thailand. Somrak, retired and running his gym, hears from a student. He goes silent. Then sets up an altar with Bruce's photograph. He tells his students, "Today we honor a warrior who respected all styles. Who showed us that martial arts has no borders." The story remains underground for years. Whispered in training halls. Dismissed by many as impossible. Where's the evidence? But in the late 1990s, a researcher finds records. Flight manifests showing Bruce Lee traveling to Bangkok in June 1967. Hotel receipts. And then, the photograph. Bruce and Somrak, together, undeniably real. This is the moment where truth becomes stranger than fiction. If this story gave you chills, drop a comment and tell me what other secret fights you've heard about. And subscribe to this channel, because we're digging up the stories that legends are built on. The researcher contacts Somrak, now elderly but still teaching. At first, Somrak refuses. The promise. The privacy. But eventually, he agrees, sharing history, not gossip. His account, Bruce Lee came to Thailand not to prove he was the best. He came to learn. That's what made him different. He wanted to understand Muay Thai. Respect it. Test himself honestly. We fought for maybe 40 minutes. Not one long fight, but exchanges. Testing different ranges. He was incredibly fast. His hand speed was something I'd never encountered. But Muay Thai's leg kicks were a problem. His shins weren't conditioned. After several hard kicks, I could see him adjusting. Who won? Nobody. That wasn't the point. We both learned. I learned that there are other ways to generate power outside Muay Thai. He learned that Muay Thai's techniques require specific conditioning. What impressed me most wasn't his physical ability. It was his mind. His openness. His lack of ego. He came to discover truth. That's rare. Another witness, the gym owner's son, corroborates, "I watched the whole thing. It was respectful but intense. Neither man was playing. At one point, Bruce Lee's leg was kicked so hard I thought it might break. He kept moving, kept adapting. My father said we'd witnessed something special." These multiple accounts, emerging independently, create a convincing picture. This was history. Why hide it? In 1967, martial arts were tribal. Styles competed for legitimacy. Cross-training was controversial. Both men understood the politics. Both chose privacy. It was about protecting space for honest learning. Today, mixed martial arts has normalized this. But in 1967, this was revolutionary. Bruce Lee was pioneering what would become modern MMA. His conceptual martial art, Jeet Kune Do, formalized this approach. Simplicity, directness, and freedom. Strip away what's ornamental. Use what works. Absorb what is useful, reject what is useless. This philosophy came from experiences like the Thailand sparring session. From honestly testing technique against technique. Somrak's influence on Bruce's thinking is evident in later interviews. Bruce begins discussing leg kicks more. Incorporating kicking power training. Studying clinch escapes. Conversely, after meeting Bruce, Somrak begins teaching more hand combinations. Emphasizing speed development. The influence flows both ways. This is the true legacy. Not who won, but what both gained. In 2008, Somrak passes away at 73. At his funeral, there's that black and white image. Bruce Lee and Somrak, smiling. Two masters, one moment of mutual respect. A former student shares, Ajarn Somrak told me the best fight he ever had was one nobody knows about. He said, I fought a man faster than my eyes could track. But I had weapons he couldn't match. We fought until we both understood that comparison is pointless. There is only learning. The story of Bruce Lee versus Somrak Khamsing isn't about victory. It's about the moment when two warriors from different traditions met honestly and walked away richer. It's about the philosophy that would define Bruce Lee's legacy: be like water. Formless. Adaptable. In 1972, 1 year before his death, Bruce gives an interview about his toughest opponent. He deflects, then adds, I once sparred with a Muay Thai champion in Thailand. His leg kicks were like baseball bats. It taught me that every martial art has elements of truth, and if you're smart, you learn from them all. That's as close as he comes to publicly acknowledging it. Today, the training hall where they met is gone. Demolished. But locals who remember still point to where it stood. Some know the secret. In martial arts schools worldwide, instructors teach Bruce Lee's philosophy. Be water. Adapt. Few know that this philosophy was forged in a Bangkok training hall, against a Thai boxer who taught Bruce that power comes in many forms. The lesson is timeless. The best learning happens outside comfort zones. Real growth requires humility. Bruce Lee could have avoided that fight. But he didn't. He flew to Bangkok. Stepped onto that mat. Learned those lessons. Somrak could have refused. But he didn't. He welcomed Bruce. Engaged honestly. Both men's legacies are enhanced by this meeting. It proves they practiced what they preached. The photograph still exists. Bruce Lee and Somrak Khamsing, frozen in time. Two warriors who understood that martial arts transcend style, nationality, and ego. That's what makes this story legendary. Not the techniques. Not who landed what. But the philosophy. The openness. The humility. The pursuit of truth. Bruce Lee lived only 32 years. Somrak lived to 73. One became a global icon. The other remained relatively unknown. But for 40 minutes in June 1967, they were equals. That's the secret fight in Thailand. Not secret because it was shameful, but because it was sacred. A moment of pure martial arts philosophy lived out in sweat and respect. Bruce Lee once said, if you love life, don't waste time, for time is what life is made up of. He didn't waste time. Every moment was learning. Somrak understood this too. A life spent teaching and learning. Building a legacy not of wins and losses, but of wisdom passed down. Both men are gone now. But their meeting lives on. In stories told in gyms worldwide. In philosophies taught to new students. In the blending of styles that defines modern martial arts. The secret fight wasn't secret because it needed hiding. It was secret because some truths are too valuable to be reduced to spectacle. They exist in the space where warriors become students again. Where styles become irrelevant and only truth remains. That's the real victory. Because their story teaches us that mastery is a journey without end. That learning requires vulnerability. That respect costs nothing but provides everything. In training halls tonight, someone is sparring for the first time. Someone is learning that their style isn't the only style. Someone is discovering that the opponent is actually a teacher. That's Bruce Lee's legacy. That's Somrak Khamsing's legacy. That's the legacy of that secret fight in Bangkok, June 1967. Be like water, my friend. Be open. Be learning. Be respectful. Be free.